Hi there, this is Taylor, and I'm here to demonstrate the Jenkins file Ethereum build pipeline that I have created that exists in my GitHub repo. So this is a Jenkins pipeline that allows you to create your own smart contract, test that on a live deployment on Ethereum testnets of your contract, and then deploy that optionally to the live Ethereum network, creating an entire CI/CD pipeline for smart contracts that you want to be working on. So I'll go ahead and get started. Here we have Jenkins, a fresh install of Jenkins, and we are going to create a new job. Let's just go ahead and name this Ethereum deploy, and I do have the pipeline. You want the pipeline package installed on Jenkins, so we'll go ahead and get that started. And this is a demo of, an Ethereum smart contracts CI/CD pipeline. So we're going to skip any of these options here just for brevity. You can certainly use build triggers however you want to, but deploying them manually for this demonstration is probably the easiest way to show you what's going on. Also, we can pull this from source management, and that's probably what you would do. But I just want to go ahead and do this with copying and pasting this in because there is some information, and I'll show you, but you're going to want to customize when it comes to deploying this, and it's just a little easier to do it this way. So for the demonstration. So in this pipeline, you will want to put in your own GitHub repo here for cloning purposes. So this is the repo that we're going to test and deploy in this pipeline. But just basically putting that in here and hitting save is all we need to do. Now, the repo itself, or the pipeline itself, is good to go. I'm going to talk about it because there's a lot going on under the hood, but I'll do that while it's building because that could take a little while and we can kind of discuss it as it goes along. So when it comes to building and deploying for yourself, you will want to put a folder together that is constructed like this. You have your smart contract, your Ethereum smart contract here. This is a really simple smart contract that displays a message. You set a message and it'll pull that message whenever you want it to, and you can reset that message. So it's super simple smart contract. This is also a test folder where we're going to put our Ethereum tests. Now, this is going to make sure that the contract is working in our live environment like we expect it to. And it also uses some JenkEth, which is the Jenkins Ethereum or Jenk Ethereum package, NPM package that I've built to make testing super easy. Now, I'm not going to go into detail there, but you can find that on my GitHub as well with some very detailed explanations on how to use it. So we're going to run this test file in this folder, which is on GitHub, and it's got a few specific things on it. So the first thing I want to show you is this config.json file. This is information that's required to deploy to the Ethereum network. Now, this stuff you can pull, you can put together this yourself, and there's detailed instructions on how to put that together yourself in the README for the Jenkins file Ethereum right here. Now, don't get any smart ideas because this mnemonic, which is super secret, is totally compromised. So if you put any money there, somebody will steal it. But it is for my testing and deployment purposes. So anyway, there's the config file that's needed, and then your package.json also has to include the Jenktherium package, which is listed right there. And all of this is described in the README file. So with this configuration of a file, you can go ahead and pull that into the Jenktherium or the Jenkins file Ethereum pipeline, and it's going to go through all the steps that we've talked about. Now, to go into more detail, we have cloning, which is going to grab the smart contracts. Which is going to grab the repo that you have listed on that you're building from. So in this case here, we're going to prep the environment, which includes installing a bunch of the packages that we need for deploying. Now we have deployment, which is going to install a copy of the Ethereum, the smart contract that you're working on both your local test RPC, or called Ganache sometimes, and also on the Ethereum testnet of your choice. Mine is Ropsten for this particular example. And then once it's up on those two networks, it's going to run tests that you have described in your test folder. So again, as all these things are working and operating properly, you are getting live feedback on all of that. Now, in this case, the tests run, they work, and so we have the option to approve prod deploy. Now, approve prod deploy says that we are ready to put this on the live Ethereum network. We click here and we have the option to not do that or to proceed. We'll go ahead and proceed. What that does is throws or deploys this up onto the live Ethereum blockchain. Now that costs live money or real money, so I have this example configured so that it is just going to go back up on the Ropsten testnet, and that is just because I'm broke and I don't want to pay for real Ethereum interaction. But it is easy to reconfigure, or it will be reconfigured on my GitHub so that this does actually send it to the live Ethereum network. And once this is done, in fact, we can probably just show you here now. Yep, so now it's completed. So just to prove to you that this all happened, we're going to go to Etherscan in the Ropsten test network, and we'll refresh, and we should see here a bunch of new deployments. Yep. So we have a contract deployed 2 minutes ago, which is indicated by this. We have a call to that contract that happened also 2 minutes ago, which is from our testing. And then we have this new contract created. Now this represents this final deploy to prod step. But because I have it redirecting to the Ropsten test network, we had a redeploy of the same contract here. But in reality, this would go out to the Ethereum main blockchain. That is how the pipeline works for Ethereum smart contracts that is on my GitHub. And I hope you enjoyed this. I think this is a really handy tool for testing smart contracts, and hope you can use it too. Thank you so much.